Brian, it's almost halfway through the regular season. Jokerit is in first place in the Western Conference. Just your thoughts about the start of the season for the team.
Yeah, I think anytime you get off to a new season or start a new season, it's exciting, and you want to give yourself a really good chance come late February or early March, put yourself in a good spot. So we're glad we've gotten off to a good start. We haven't shot ourselves in the foot, but then again, it's just a start. We've had some good starts in the past, and let's see if we can keep it going. You know, win the games you're supposed to win, and then play well in the big moments. And I think we've shown that for the most part, that we can play with the best teams in the league. So I think that'll give us confidence going into the second half, which is really important because that'll give us the best chance come spring.
Gameplay-wise, what have been the key factors of this success?
Yeah, I think noticing what rink we're playing on. There's a lot more 26-meter rinks, and I think we've done better in those games than we had last year. So making some tactical adjustments, playing a little bit quicker, not going into our set breakout as much, I think it's been very effective for us tactically, and I think you've seen that on the score sheet. Lately, just playing better defense. I think we've gotten really good goaltending, but a lot of that has to do with our defensive play. We kind of let our goaltenders out to dry in the middle of that first half, but I think we've done a really good job defending, and that'll be really important come spring.
One thing that has struck me is kind of the physical shape the team is in. There's so many games you play every other day, but still you've been able to keep that level and really pretty much outskate the other team in many nights.
Yeah, I think one thing, just from a tactical perspective, we're more balanced. I don't think we're overextending any guys, so guys are naturally more fresh. And then number two, our training camp, there was a lot more skating this year. I thought we did a really good job. Maybe we sacrificed some of the games in the beginning of the season, but we did a really good job of coming up with a good program. Our strength coach did a great job. Our coaching staff made sure that we were getting enough reps in. Granted, we didn't have as many exhibition games as the Russian teams did, but I thought we made up for it with the practices we had, and you could see, late in games we're in pretty good shape, and that gets to the training and it gets to how the coaches are using their players.
You mentioned that the defensive game has gotten better. Is that just a mindset, or did you change something?
Yeah, I think the systems are always, they don't change much. I think it's more of a mindset. Being careful with pucks in the neutral zone, defending well in the neutral zone. It's such an important zone, probably the most important zone in hockey. So making sure we take care of the puck management, and then just being good in front of our own net. I think our goalies, they're both very, very capable. So all we have to do is just avoid the big mistakes. And I think we've done that. In some games, teams aren't getting 20 shots, which is a really good sign for us.
The team has done the long trip now and played those games. Now when you look at the schedule coming up after this break, you face CSKA, you face SKA, you face Lokomotiv, you face Spartak, these Dynamo, these teams that are in the West are the rivals for us. How do you look at that schedule coming up?
Yeah, it's the big 13 games. I think it's 13 games until that December break, so that'll be our mindset, having a really good record in those 13 games. Kind of reset, forget about that first half. Let's get to work here for the next 13 games, and then we have a really good schedule after that. So I think it'll be easy for guys to have that mental focus every night, because it's only 13 games, and then we're going to be in a really good spot schedule-wise. But it's an opportunity too. Whenever you're playing against the best teams that you will likely face in the playoffs, that's an opportunity for us to establish our game against those top teams and see how we play against those top teams in their rink. So I think having some really good road games coming up will be a great challenge.
Yeah. Well, it's now been announced that Latte is not going to be here next year. You can reflect a little bit on what happened in 2017 when it was not announced that Jukka is not going to stay here. How does that affect the team at all?
I mean, for example, when Jukka announced it in the middle of the season, we went on to have a pretty good playoffs. We beat Sochi, and then we won 2 games against CSKA. Not the result we wanted. So I don't think if you compare that to other years, it has a negative impact at all. Latte, obviously, he's a professional and he's going to do his best, and he's done a great job this year. He's had some unfortunate breaks the last couple years. We went around, then it's COVID, and then last year with all the COVID stuff, having to play all the playoff games away. So this will be a good opportunity for us to have one last hurrah with him, and I'm sure he's really motivated to, make a lasting impression with his Jokerit career, and we're going to do our best to support him.
Let's talk about you for a moment. You've now broken into the top 10 in Jokerit all-time scoring. I think you're number 7 right now. Top 5 should be in reach this season. Everything goes well. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, obviously it's something I take pride in. I do get a lot of opportunity, and I got to make sure that I earn that opportunity. But at the same time, just taking care of my body and making sure my longevity. I mean, I want to play for as many years as I can. I understand Father Time at some point wins. He always does, but I feel great physically, and it's something that gives me purpose every time I go to the rink. I want to establish myself as one of the best players in Jokerit history. Obviously, these are just regular season numbers, and I would like to do more in the playoffs, and that's kind of a mindset thing too. Having the success in the regular season definitely gives me confidence, but at the same time, you got to keep working on what's going to do well in the playoffs. I had a good conversation with Jari a couple weeks ago. He's really been on me to shoot more, and I think that'd be something that will help my game. It's something that I got to work on because it'll help me in the tougher games in spring, having that mentality. But yeah, just prideful. Something that gives me purpose, and every time I go to the rink, that's in the back of my mind of how can I get better and how can I keep climbing those charts.
That's a great point. That everybody can see how well you're doing on the ice, but you still get that little bit of a pressure from the inside, from the GM, from the coach, from other players.
Yeah, whenever Jari says something, you listen. I mean, he's one of the best goal scorers of all time, so when he tells me to shoot, it's a little bit different. I mean, I don't have his abilities, but when you get advice like that, you take it, because Jari's not in my ear all the time. It's just a little thing here, a little thing there. So someone with that hockey pedigree, when he does say something, I take very seriously, and something I'll definitely work on. And I switched to white tape recently just for that fact. So I don't know how much longer that's going to last, but I'm really looking forward to working on that part of my game, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, that was one thing the fans were noticing right off I think it was in Novosibirsk you played with white tape.
Baris is the first
Baris
game.
was the first game, and you played with white tape. Why was that?
I hadn't scored in a while, and it was funny because I started shooting more probably 6 or 7 games ago, but still no results. And I would sometimes you need that mental edge. It's a long season, and I'm thinking, okay, white tape will make me a better goal scorer, which makes 0 sense if you really think about it, because it's the same as black tape. But it looks different for me, and it's something when I look down at the puck, I think I'm a better shooter because I have white tape. Little mental edge is all you need sometimes. Granted, the goal I scored in the last game really had nothing to do with the white tape or the shot, but just having that mentality, that's the biggest thing, and I think that little mental edge will help me in the coming months.
Many fans can remember, but maybe some don't. It took you 16 games to score your first goals here at Jokerit. How was that kind of the first few weeks, first few months for you in a new league, in a new team?
Yeah, really challenging. I wasn't homesick at all. That had nothing to do with it. Just, my game was okay. I've definitely gotten a lot better, but just not seeing the puck go in early is tough, especially for a scorer. They didn't bring me here to kill penalties and be, a defensive player. So I felt like I was letting the team down, and that's the biggest thing when our team really wasn't doing that well at the time, and a large part was because I wasn't doing my job on the ice. So that really eats at you, but at the same time, that adversity definitely helped me in the long run, and something I'll always remember whenever I go in these slumps sometimes. You're always going to have a few slumps a year, and I always look back to those first 15, 16 games and think, well, it can't get much worse than that, and I did eventually come out of it. And it just motivates you to work on your game so you never put yourself in that situation, because it's a really, really lonely, helpless situation.
Thank you.
Kiitos.